Woof woof! Hello everybody, Shuffle Woof here with a new album review. Today we will be discussing the new Kid album, You Are Also a Piece of Shit.
Kitty got claws, she won't bootlick no.
Kid is an Australian artist who has been making bedroom rap and hip-hop for some years now, often incorporating lounge jazz samples into her music. She started in 2022 with her jazz-inspired hip-hop debut, Screams from the Static, following it up in 2023 with her much darker and slower EP, Digital Dissociation. 2024's #SKM4 saw her experimenting with a wider and brighter array of sounds in the hip-hop sphere, and she gets even brighter on the Anti-Blood Fiend, released later that same year. You Are Also a Piece of Shit continues to explore Kid's signature sound, it being a distorted and soft rap album that tends to build its beats off of samples. Her projects are usually pretty brief, this one lasting just over 20 minutes, so many of the songs here keep the production and lyrics relatively to the point. We start off strong with a distorted opener, Don't Be Afraid, this one being a bit of a flex and a diss track, directed at someone. I like Kid's delivery here, as well as how the main sample is pitched and abstracted. So lively. Peep takes things in a completely different direction, it's sounding otherworldly and almost trance-like with its odd, dark cat lead. The lyrics here are honestly a bit hard for me to make out, and I feel the song does not develop enough for me over its brief runtime, but it is a very intriguing vibe nonetheless. 2022, Bitter Bitch takes things in a darker and more troubled direction lyrically, Kid seemingly venting about her suffering at the hands of someone else in her teen years. Some of the most biting jabs on this project come up here with lines like, I can smell that body rotting in your closet, and you can tell, so you gotta scoot around the topic. The eerie and off-kilter pads work really well thematically, I am moved by this one. ATM picks things up a bit more with its jazzier horn-heavy sample riding over a grimy and distorted drum beat. This one is a confident flex track taking shots at a hater. I love Kid's flows here. I am also liking Brim's and Python Miles features. Everyone works together quite well. The next track, Keep Trying Interlude, slows things down again, it being a loungy interlude with a lo-fi beat and some guitar picking. Even if it does feel a bit one-note to me, I appreciate the hopeful message delivered by whoever Kid is sampling here. The next track, Her Ex, featuring Robin's Ghost, is the first track to make it over the 2-minute mark, and these two fill up the time well. This one features some loungy keyboard samples with distorted and distant drums, complete with great performances from both Kid and Robin. The lyrics describe going through life alone after some bridges had to be burned, and moving on beyond those they are leaving in the past. What a smooth banger! I can see right through your skin version 2 goes for a much more tired-sounding delivery, Kid reflecting on how exhausting other people's excessive hatred can be. While this one does trail off somewhat, I love the twinkly and psychedelic piano-led sample as well as Kid's flows. Win Your Love, featuring Kiki Amu, is a unique one, pairing what sounds like a fuzzy new wave instrumental with a trap beat. Kid delivers some great flows with the sweetest lyrics on the album, singing about wanting to make the effort to attract someone she is yearning for. Lines like, I want to hold you while we're watching Sailor Moon, show off a more tender side of her which I am so happy to hear, given how walled off she described being on multiple tracks prior. Rotten gives us a very distorted piano jazz beat, almost to the point of being bit crushed. I like Kid's flows, even if the lyrics here are harder to make out. They seem to deal in themes of abuse and anxiety, describing a victim as a skeleton walking. The second half of this track is a slowed-down repeat of the first half, which is not my cup of tea, but I appreciate the narrative of this one overall. The final track, Untitled, Epilogue, ends the album on a bright note with its distorted horn samples. Kid crushes the flows here with some self-deprecating lyrics, but in the end she also acknowledges she likes her independence and art making over her thoughts of being dependent on someone else. It is a good closer that ties up some of the themes mentioned throughout the album nicely. Overall, Kid does a lot with this album's short runtime, giving us great flows and interesting beats. While a couple of these songs do not develop enough during their runtime for my personal tastes, there is still plenty to say about this project, given Kid's talent when it comes to rapping and writing about heavier topics. The highlights on this one, for me, are killer. If you are a fan of distorted hip-hop or vulgar and emotional lyricism, be sure to check this one out. Woof woof.